Don't engage alone.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Let's go.
Oh, hello there. Welcome to Comics League Dark, the premier news show of the Comics League Network. I am Jared, and today we have some nice topics and we have some not so nice topics. But first off, let me bring in the wise old sage of Comics League, and emphasis on the word old.
I am Phoenix!
Nick, what's up?
I have to say, I would actually prefer an emphasis on wise.
No, sorry, it's my show. Emphasis on old. So today we're gonna have a little bit of a mixed show, but first I wanted to bring this up. So, Nick, do you want to explain my little banner here?
So a few days ago, I lost my friend, a very, very dear friend of mine. Courage, the not so cowardly rat, passed away in my arms. He seemed fine the previous day, but like most things, he just kind of got sick, and I think he might have ate something bad or whatever. I don't know. But Courage was a good rat. He was there for me whenever I needed him. And he will be missed.
R.I.P. Courage, R.I.P. Courage. And then I have a picture of the two, of actually both Courage and Drake, by the way. So here you go.
Mm-hmm. Those are my boys.
And what's interesting is that I think I've known you all throughout the lifespan of these two, I believe.
Yeah, I think when we first met, I kind of just gotten them.
Which, I mean, it was a sad thing. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Brown says a few months ago I lost my dog Zake. Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
I'm sorry for your loss.
And Tevia
Brown.
lost a pet as well.
Oh man, I hope something's not going around. Jeez.
But the important thing is that they're in happy pet heaven. That's the important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's transition to a more. I lost I lost Daisy, Spike, and Walter. My dog is. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. So,
man.
So yeah, R.I.P. to all the pets that have fallen. But so let's transition to
gone but not forgotten.
Yeah, definitely gone but not forgotten. So let's transition. So you want to talk about Conroy, Suicide Squad, Sonic, Avatar, self-destructing, or Carl Weathers?
Let's do Sonic. I want something positive.
So the Sonic teaser came out, and what's kind of cool is that they did this tweet that's basically talking about how they did this thing where like Eggman took over the Sonic Twitter, but the funny part about it is that they tease Shadow again. That they're like, don't we? They said something like "beyond a shadow of a doubt," and they put Shadow emphasized. So I'm like, Shadow is showing up.
No, read the full message. Read the full message.
I have to pull it up again. Just give me a second. Let me see. If I can't okay, here we go. You thought I was gone, but I've just been underground. What you've seen from me is only a shadow of things to come.
See, here's the thing. Underground. Sonic Underground.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a pretty popular cartoon in the 90s.
Yeah, and obviously based upon the post-credit scene of Sonic 2, this is going to be probably Sonic versus Shadow, and then they'll team up when they discover their creators have the same first name.
Oh dear God! Why did you say that name?
I had to. That's a joke I just couldn't pass up. Just couldn't. It's like any opportunity to bash Lois Lane, I will go on. And by the way, anyone that has been watching our coverage of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League knows that I take all my time to attack Lois Lane. It's kind of a hobby of mine.
Jared, do you want to tell the audience who is rumored to be playing Shadow?
I'll give you a hint. You're on this council, but we will not grant you the rank of master.
That's unfair.
Yeah, exactly. I hate you. Yeah, Hayden Christensen, which honestly I could see. I'm so excited for Shadow the Hedgehog. Most of you guys see my favorite. Hey, Tevia, this is the one time we agree on favorite characters in a franchise because Shadow's my favorite. Absolutely.
I'm sorry, but if Shadow does not say, "You underestimate my ultimate power," like I will leave the theater.
Brown says, I have not seen the trailer. Can we see the trailer, or is it going to get a YouTube strike? I don't think so. It's a teaser, so
I think it's either short. I think it's under 10 seconds. We actually might be able to get away with it.
They'll try it out. So I'm going to full screen it on my other screen, and then I'll share a screen so we can try this. Actually, wait, I have to pull up Twitter on my Google Chrome for this to work. But anyway, so Nick, while I do that, explain to the people more about Sonic Underground.
Oh, I actually never watched it. I just I was more of a sad AM kind of guy. So for those who are not as old as me, back in the heyday of Sonic, back in the 90s, there was 2 different animated series. There is Sad AM, Sonic Saturday Morning.
And by the way, Nick, no one's as old as you.
Fluff off. And then Sonic Underground, which was like the more edgy kind of thing. I never really watched Sonic Underground, but I did watch like Sonic Sad AM. Which, by the way, Jared, do you want to know who the voice of Sonic was?
Who?
For Sad AM? Jamal White.
Oh, sweet. So by the way,
Urkel was the voice of Sonic.
Let me know if you guys can hear this.
I can hear it.
So there you go. And I think it looks freaking amazing.
Also, I think there's like another casting announcement that a certain lady was cast in Sonic.
Jessica Jones, Kristen Ritter. Now, we don't know who she's playing. There is some conjecture that she's playing Rouge the Bat, which I could see based upon the fact that Shadow's coming in this game, movie. It would be interesting if like Team Shadow also showed up. Because
I think, well, there's a couple options in my opinion. She could also be playing Amy Rose, or she could be playing Sally Acorn.
Who's Sally Acorn?
It's just a character from Sonic Underground. Like that's why, like I was thinking maybe, because if it didn't like reference Underground in that tweet, I wouldn't say that. But I think it's probably if I'd bet it's Amy Rose.
All right. Yeah.
Amy Rose is basically Sonic's stalker.
Sonic has a daughter?
Stalker.
Oh, stalker. Okay. Oh, Amy! Now I remember that. I'm sorry. For some reason, I was like, who's Amy? And I was like, oh, she's the one with the pink hair?
Yeah, and the hammer.
Yeah, okay, now I remember it. I would believe that, but here's the thing. Actually, you know what? That is pretty believable. Tavia agrees with me that he thinks she's going to play Rouge the Bat, which I could see her playing Amy. The thing is, Ritter, I can't see her playing like a nice, sweet character. I could see her playing a very intimidating character.
Yeah, I could see her playing Rouge the Bat. I could see that.
Particularly, my thinking is also because they're bringing Shadow, that opens the door to Team Shadow, because you already have Team Sonic. So if they're going to cast all these people, why not have Team Shadow show up as well?
Possibly. It's just be interesting how they translate the design, because Rouge is kind of a bit fur bait.
Yeah, exactly. Flash versus Sonic. Flash wins easily. Because the last time I checked, Sonic cannot go so fast that he breaks the time barrier.
Yeah. Well, here's a better question. Sonic versus Quicksilver.
Okay, in that case,
Sonic.
Really, why?
Because Sonic is definitely faster than Quicksilver.
I would say so. I honestly agree with you on that one too, because Quicksilver, yeah, he's
Quicksilver
fast.
can barely break the sound barrier. He can barely break the sound barrier.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, yeah, I would say, yeah, it goes Flash, Sonic, Quicksilver in terms of pop cultural speedsters.
Because like Sonic has shown some like, even in the first movie, see how quickly he got around the United States. Like I don't think he's Flash level, but he's definitely like at least 3 or 4 magnitudes order faster than Quicksilver.
I will say one of my favorite parts of the Sonic 1 movie is when he's flipping through Flash comics at super speed. That was great. Plus, Wally West went through time and space with his family and also helped. Well, yeah, but I'm just saying in terms of just Flash in general, because both Flashes have done time and space stuff. I'm just saying.
I will say this, though. Mm-hmm. The Young Justice version of Wally, I think Sonic's faster than him.
Yeah, I'll give you that one because he's not as because I didn't see that version of Wally do like Speed Force craziness, like go back in time, which it could be that's what he did if they were ever going to bring that character back, which I still have no evidence that they were going to do that. But that's something to think about. That's definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
Tevia says, speaking of Shadow, we also have Sonic and Shadow Generations coming out, which is going to be really awesome. Yeah. Because I mean,
that's very deliberate to coincide with the movie. So.
Absolutely. I will say my favorite Sonic game was the Shadow game because it's like, because of that branching storyline, you can use vehicles, you can use guns, and that kick-ass intro that plays whenever you start the game, and it has the heavy metal music. I'm like, good God, that game was it was Shadow the Hedgehog, then Battlefront, then Halo.
I mean, there's one shot they had to do an homage to. Is like, you know that one shot from Shadow the Hedgehog where he walks out, he's silhouetted by the moon, and he's got and then
he cocks the gun. Yeah, we definitely need that. Please, Hollywood, please forego your anti-gunness for just this once, just so I can have that shot. I just want that shot.
I think probably what's going to happen is when we first meet him, he's going to be using guns. And then, like, Sonic teaches him, you don't need guns to fight. You know, he's going to, like, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I don't need the tool of a coward. He'll pull a Dark Knight Returns, only less cool because it'll obviously be pandering.
We're just like, he doesn't need it. Also, I just hope he picks up a katana for maximum weakness.
Has Shadow ever used a katana?
I think you can actually get a katana in the Shadow game.
Yeah, well, you can use one of the alien swords. I'm not sure about a katana, but I know you can use a sword.
Wait, one of the aliens' laser swords?
That's the other thing, because if he ends up being played by Hayden Christensen, you know they're going to make a bunch of Darth Vader puns the entire movie.
What if he just picks up the beam sword? It's like, a better weapon, not as clumsy or as random as a gun.
As an elegant weapon, yes.
A more elegant weapon.
For more civilized time. You need that. That would be so good. You could have, like, he's brooding, and then Sonic's like, man, lighten up, Darth Vader.
Or, like, imagine it's like, dude, I just checked every other gargoyle in the city. I knew.
Mm-hmm. Or, like, he goes, Eggman goes, you're the chosen one. Or, no, here's the way I would do it. James Marsden is watching TV and he's watching episode 3. And then Shadow walks in and he goes, I like that guy, Anakin Skywalker.
No.
Yes, it's my show.
Oh, you know what? We need. James, like, someone's like, oh, hey, I got a bunch of movies. We can watch X-Men.
And then Sonic is like, wait, has anyone ever told you look just like Cyclops?
Or like
oh no, wait, I didn't know you were in the Superman movie.
It's like no, his wife's like, so we got X-Men, I got Westworld season 1,
I got Superman Returns. and then with Shadow, I got episode 3, I got Jumper. That would honestly be super funny if they do that. That would be so good.
I'm trying to think. And then Idris Elba walks. It's like, So I got Dark Tower. I got
Fast and Hobbs and Shaw. It would be great. They probably won't do this. Is if he shows up and if like at one point Knuckles wears a Superman cape and then as a reference that Black Superman. Otis, I loved him too. That was super cool. I'm so curious
since this is like I think it's like Paramount. I think or well, I think it's Universal, and like Universal also Fast Furious. We actually might get Knuckles to make it like these people are neither fast nor furious.
Yes, exactly.
That is totally a Knuckles line.
By the way, Idris Elba as Knuckles was one of the best casting decisions they could have made because he freaking nailed it.
Yeah.
I am so curious on how they're going to adapt Sonic Adventure 2 battle storyline because that story is probably the most darkest of all of Sonic games story-wise. Have you seen Shadow the Hedgehog? That's very dark.
I mean, as long as Robotnik doesn't get forklift certified, I think we're good.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, that's another casting thing that we can talk about is that Jim Carrey's coming back as Dr. Robotnik. I'm so happy because he freaking nails that character.
Yeah, like he said he was going to retire, and honestly, I wouldn't blame him. Because Sonic 2, if that's going to be the last movie he did, you pretty much secured your legacy. But like,
yeah, because it's not a bad a movie to end it because Jim Carrey's been in some banger movies.
But I think with this one, it's like he's at least secure. Like, okay, if this is my last movie, Sonic 3, it's at the very least my performance won't be criticized.
Yeah, and plus the Sonic movies have been doing pretty well, and both critically and commercially. So as long as they keep to the formula for 3, I think it'll also be a very successful movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have a little more. Normally, I don't like. Normally, I have no faith in Hollywood, but judging by the trajectory these films are taking, I think it's a good. I think we're in for a good. Are you going to watch the Henry Cavill's new movie? Are you Argyle? Maybe the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Hell yes, I'm gonna go see that.
Wait. I have a casting idea.
What?
So Amy Rose, played by Gal Gadot.
Or Amy Rose, played by Amy Adams. You can double Amy. And by the way, hey, Nick, let me ask you something. It got really hot in here all of a sudden.
Oh,
it was really weird.
Yeah,
we got some heat rising.
Flame on! I was wondering why the temperature was rising.
Hey, what's up? So JJheat, what do you think about hey, what's up, Max? What do you think of Jim Carrey coming back as Dr. Robotnik?
Solid casting. He had a great performance. I mean, you can't go wrong with Jim Carrey, so you can't go wrong.
No.
And JJheat, I want your thoughts on this. So we were thinking, so Shadow's going to be in Sonic 3. How great would it be if his debut when we first see him is an homage to that shot from the Shadow the Hedgehog opening where he's in the moon and then he cocks the gun?
It's over the top. It's edgy.
It's over the top. But can we dream, JJheat? Come on.
Oh, JJheat, have you heard about the rumor that Shadow may be voiced by Hayden Christensen?
I could see that. Not gonna lie.
You underestimate my ultimate power.
We were talking about how great would it be if so in the Sonic movie, if James Marsden character's wife comes in and goes and is talking to Marsden about picking a movie, and she goes, okay, I got Westworld season 1, X-Men, Superman Returns, all the movies he's been in. And then when Shadow shows up, Star Wars episode 2, Star Wars episode 3, Jumper.
No, or even better, they have Knuckles and they're showing him Fast and the Furious, and he's like, these people are neither fast nor furious. I do not.
All right, I got a great story for you. So I showed my mom Fast X last night, and you want to know the highlight comment she made?
What?
This is the first movie where I prayed for everyone to die.
Oh dear God!
She hated it. She's like, "This is probably the worst movie I've ever seen."
Like Fast 9 at least was like somewhat entertaining. Like the novel, like, all right, they went to space. All right, they did it, guys.
They did it. Yeah, exactly.
Cars in space.
Yeah, I know. Somehow that works. But
a
it's like,
Fiero in space. Of all cars, they picked the Fiero.
yeah, I know. But it was a cool way to bring back some of the guys from Tokyo Drift.
I've ridden in a Fiero. My cousin had a Fiero. It's a crap.
JJheat, Fast and the Furious, Race Against Time. No, that's it, when they bring in the Flash, because that's gonna.
I
happen,
don't need time. I have family.
And then it's like the entire Flash family pops out, the Superman
I
family.
don't need the power of Grayskull. I have the power of family.
And then all the He-Man people come there. But by the way,
Kevin Smith still somehow finds a way to cry.
Revolution was fantastic, by the way. I'm gonna say that right there. But
I heard it wasn't good.
No, you've heard Revelation wasn't good. Revolution was good.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, so let's transition to another topic. I want to pick this one because now that I have both of you guys here. So, what do you think about the Avatar show basically self-destructing?
I'm still gonna wait to see when it comes out, but it is not looking good.
Now, I definitely get it from a business standpoint because some elements could be considered "quote unquote" problematic.
I disagree. Like they're like, if you actually like the stuff they say and you go back and watch the stuff they're referencing, it's like, wait, so you want to get rid of the scene where Katara literally fights the patriarchy? Like you want to get rid of the scene where Sokka literally gets the sexism beat out of him? Like it just doesn't make sense.
I feel like they announced it to cover their butts more so than anything else.
No, it's just they. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, what I have here is that according to creators, the cartoon, as great as it was 15 years ago. Things have changed. There are
modern day.
Yeah, there are certain roles I think that Katara did in the cartoon that we didn't necessarily also do here. I mean, I don't really want to get into a lot of that.
So women aren't mothers. So in 2024, women aren't mothers.
So
the motherly role is outdated.
Before this goes on a bloody tangent. Now, say what you will about Atlas having a lot of filler, because if you count all 3 books of the original Atlas series, it was at least 15 to 20% filler. No one's refuting that. But you're taking away key moments just for the sake of PR. I mean, at that, it comes to a point where...
Yeah, but JJheat, it gets worse. They're removing all the filler.
But here's the thing. They're being so disjointed what they're saying. Like they're saying, oh, we're going to skip Kyoshi Island. Yet literally in the trailer is heavily using footage from Kyoshi Island. Like there's literally a scene where the Kyoshi Warriors are practicing. There's literally a scene of them flying to Kyoshi Island. There's a scene where Zuko attacks Kyoshi Island. You know, it's like you say you're not doing Kyoshi Island, yet your trailers have been like 50% Kyoshi Island footage.
No wonder the creators left the Netflix show. But JJheat,
not only that, but they said
time, guys.
Not only that, but they said, and I quote, "This show does not reflect our vision."
Then why work on it? But next thing you're going to tell me they're going to cut out Zuko getting a scar.
Well, you know, it's kind of funny. Someone made a joke tweet about that, and I thought it was real.
I would not be surprised.
By the way, so here's what they said about getting rid of the filler. We essentially gave it's because to make Avatar: The Last Airbender a serialized drama. Aang will not go on many detours looking for adventures like riding the elephant koi. We essentially gave him this vision of what's going to happen, and he says, "I have to get to the Northern Water Tribe to stop this from happening."
See, and that's where they mess up, because the elephant koi is the whole reason he's at Kyoshi Island. So they have to come up with another reason why he goes to Kyoshi Island, because, and this is, I'm going by their trailer footage, which is like 50% of all the shot. Like it seems like 50% of the trailer is just shots from that one episode. They clearly go to Kyoshi Island. That is without a doubt going to happen.
Because technically, and yes, contrary to popular belief, the Kyoshi Warrior episode, that was technically a filler episode in how book 1 was structured. Because that's literally
also Blue Spirit. Blue Spirit is filler. Like that is side content. You know, like they showed the Blue Spirit, like Aang getting captured and then Zuko rescuing him. That is 100% side content. Like that's easy to cut out. So like them saying they're cutting it out, they're just straight out lying. So like I just they're just talking out of both sides of their butt.
That's why, look, that's why whenever anyone says, "Oh, I trusted the creators, like I trust them to adapt Heroes in Crisis for Young Justice, but make it good," or "I trust this," I'm like, do not trust creatives because ultimately they will backstab you.
Oh, we also saw Hey Bye. We saw Hey Bye in the trailer, so they're doing the Winter Solstice 2-parter. Again, side content. I mean, that's very plot relevant, but still, like if you're just talking about getting to the North Pole, you could cut that around. You could like edit your story around that, but you showed Hey Bye, which means Winter Solstice. You show the burnt forest. So it's just sorry, I hate hypocrisy.
No, 100%. That's just so lazy and stupid. Also, Kyoshi Island's part of Hang's past, as the other avatars with Kyoshi. I'm like put this way. It's like you're getting rid of what made that special. Because here's the thing. As much as I can't stand season 3 of Avatar: The Last Airbender because I think it's too much filler.
Oh, book 3 is the weakest of the 3, hands down.
Yeah, season 1 was good because here's the thing, and someone on Nick's panel brought this up, because Aang is a kid when he comes out of that ice. He's gonna want to play. It's like, Nick, what's the first thing he asks Katara when he gets out of the ice?
Do you want to go penguin sledding?
Yes.
I love how you asked me, and like you knew I would know what the first line
I knew what
was.
you said. Yeah, exactly. Only Zack Snyder made Source Material even better with his. Yeah, exactly. There are some creatives you can trust. Like, I would argue Snyder you can count. Snyder you can trust because he'll only take on projects that he can adapt well.
Like, and the thing is, they're missing the reason he goes on these stuff is Aang is avoiding his problems. The whole reason he ends up as in that ice in the first place is he ran away from being the Avatar. Like that's the whole point. Like, and I said this on my stream, his whole character arc of season 1 is him mentally accepting the burden of being the Avatar, and it's not until the end of season 1 that he fully accepts his role of Avatar. That's literally his character arc.
Now, he does regress slightly in book 2, just slightly, but he still finds that workaround. But that's more so in terms of Aang and Katara and learning to let go for enlightenment. But that's such. Wait, was that part filler? I forget.
But that was towards the end of it. But like that's like really like the tail end because he was trying to fully unlock the Avatar state, and then like to do the last chakra, he had to like let go, and he didn't want to like get rid of Katara, and then like he unlocks it, and then Katara, then Azula. Yeah.
Dweeb.
All right, here's Nick as soon as he saw all the tweets about the show.
What is this?
Yeah. I will say I'm still gonna watch it because I still want it to be good.
Yeah, it's like me with Halo Season 2. I'm going to watch it out of the blind hope that maybe they'll learn their lesson. But
I'm holding out hope that they're just talking out of their butts, or like this is like because like a lot of the times when you hear them say something and you go and watch the show, it's like wildly out of proportion. Because let's be honest, actors nowadays don't know how to talk about their characters. They just regurgitate whatever people want them to say.
Mm-hmm.
They're terrible at this kind of thing. So I just I could be helping the copium. I will fully admit I could just be injecting the copium straight into my veins.
Well, in your defense, Nick, I'll give you this. It's either because the only other adaptation is the movie that doesn't exist. So really, it's not like it's not like it's a high bar.
Yeah, like honest, and also like seeing the actors in action now. They have my rose-tinted glasses are like somewhat off. The Sokka actor isn't very good. I'm sorry, and like just seeing Azula in motion, I'm not really sold. I need to see more of her, but like the Sokka actor is just not good. Katara actor seems fine. The Aang actor seems to be doing a really good job. I give credit to him. He is like oh my god, he's leagues better than the movie counterpart. But just the Sokka actor, just he has like this flat mono, like it's like he just doesn't care. Almost it seems. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see Halo Season 2 or Avatar being good because, well, here's the thing. Here's why I have a little more thing. Here's the thing about Halo, and this is something that happened actually today. One of the actors who plays the Colonel in the game, I mean the movie show, geez, he brought up that the new showrunner is a hardcore gamer and that he himself played as a massive Halo fan, and throughout 343 has marketed this season as in a way a soft reboot of the Halo show. So I'm giving it a shot.
See, my problem is the Master Chief actor. Like he's like, people need to stop getting so hung up about the helmet. Like come on.
This is coming from a guy that claims he played the games. If you played the games, you would get why he keeps his damn helmet on.
Like there are ways around it. Like you say, like, hey, we like you come up with some BS reason why this version does it. The last thing you should ever do is tell people, oh, you're stupid for thinking this way. You know.
Well, there was no reason ever to do it because here's why. Here's what they could have done. Keep his helmet on, and yes, but by the way, Mando for the longest time kept his helmet on. And we were fine with that. But what they could have done, if you want to be able to see his face, it's actually really simple. You could just do like what they kind of do with Iron Man, where like they show his face inside the helmet, so you could see his expressions and stuff. Because that I think would be a compromise, because he's not taking off the helmet.
Also, the argument of you can't emote, you can't show any emotion.
That is BS. That is
Mandalorian.
BS.
Dread.
Darth Vader, Judge Dredd.
Literally the entire series of Kamen Rider.
Yeah, the Power Rangers.
Super Sentai.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like you. Yeah, and trust me, Nick, I was pissed when he said you just don't like our show if you don't like the helmet. And I'm like, no, it's not that. It's not that.
No, the show's bad.
Like that is like the worst kind of rhetoric to use for marketing a show, because you're creating an us versus them situation, and when you're trying to like get people to watch your show, that's the last thing you need.
But you know, it's kind of funny. I did like how now everyone's admitting that the Master Cheek scene was a bad idea.
Oh, after the fact, yeah.
He claims he pushed against it, but what was overruled. I'm like, sure, dude. Sure, dude.
Yeah, right.
Here's my response to that.
False.
Yeah, it's false.
It's very clear they're doing damage control, because now all of a sudden everyone on the show is massive Halo fans. We love the material. And season 1, it's like we deliberately barred anybody from playing the games.
And then here's how the season turned out.
Like a panther.
Dude.
Hey, Britt, what's up?
Okay, this is going to be a hot take. Jared, I have to steal some of your flame for a moment. Halo Season 1 makes Boba Fett look like Mandalorian Season 1.
That's fair.
Honestly,
that's fair.
That's true, because he was more consistent. But by the way, Britt, if you want to join us, I'll send you a link.
Hopefully, at least with Boba Fett, they were trying to be accurate to the spirit of the character, like they were
in a way
trying. See, with Halo, they didn't try.
Yeah,
with
hopefully
Avatar.
Hopefully, Avatar can be more Netflix One Piece.
Wishful thinking, buddy. Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking.
That
Britt.
pirate ship has sailed, my friend.
Do I trust them? Hell no.
I will say this. I will play devil's advocate for the sake of the argument.
Wait. Real quick. Atchison, have you played Halo Reach? Because that's a pretty solid game. If you want to say...
Reach did save the franchise.
If you want to say it's been going downhill since 343 got control, yeah, because that's in some ways true.
Dude,
but don't say...
that statement... Dude, that statement is a bit of a reach. A Halo Reach.
Also,
never
that
changed.
Web series is nothing like the game. Instead of Alien, we only saw the Rebels that do not exist in game. Oh, you mean the Halo series? Yeah, they barely show the Covenant. Kind of an important part of Halo, right, JJheat?
Yep. Yeah, you get.
And then they do nothing to show that the Covenant's a threat. It's just, oh, the Covenant exists. What?
But
Yeah.
as I was saying, the
Go ahead.
reason I say that is because despite those scenes being relatively iconic and respective to both Sokka and Katara's character arcs, in context of the story of book one, those scenes were relatively filler. But even if you cut all the filler from book one from the original show, you're trimming down like 5 episodes, if that.
Well, the thing is, you're basically getting rid of Sokka's sexism. You're basically just getting rid of his entire, like, any character arc he did have. He had basically 2 character arcs. The first 4, and then like the stuff with UA was like the only character stuff he got. And
Well, also, Nick, isn't the whole isn't like the circumstances around which Katara and Sokka find Aang is because he was being a sexist?
yeah, like, he was being stupid, and she got angry, and then she, unlocked the iceberg. So it's like,
I'm like, the hell are you gonna do? I do not understand this.
like,
This
he's literally telling him, like, it's like every, like, you would think these people would be like, ooh, like they would like literally adapt that scene verbatim or something.
Yeah, and by the way, Atchison brings up an excellent point. I don't think Avatar: The Last Airbender needs a live action adaptation.
I mean, I do like that they're doing like the adult Avatar, like the Team Avatar as like adults, which, by the way, that is actually being done by the series creators, so that'll be cool.
No, but still, I'm like, at this point, they've tried to. If this fails, I think they should stop doing it because they would have failed twice. And I'd be like, nope.
Well,
I'm
we are
definitely
getting
not
new.
trusting it.
Now hold
animated
on.
adaptation.
The movie that does not exist, only allegedly, only was trying to cram 26 episodes worth of material in an hour and a half. That's almost impossible.
No. There was a way he could have done it if he actually made a competent movie, like the fact that they hold Earthbenders captive in a rock quarry. The whole movie is that logic.
Dude, that's not even the worst part about that scene.
Oh yeah, when the air bending is a fart.
That's
what
not
it
even the
is.
worst part of the scene.
Explain what the worst part of the scene is, Nick.
Where it takes 5 Earthbenders dancing to move a frickin'
To move a boulder, and in the show they like cause mountains to collapse. I'm like, what the hell is going on? You know, it's kind of funny when I got pissed. So when Nick did a watch through of this movie, Nick's for some reason couldn't access the movie. I think she was lying, but that's just me. So Nick and I had to watch it, and the funny part is I got more pissed after it because this is after I had watched season 1. So I'm like, I get why people hate this movie. I 100% understand it.
And also, I'm gonna be honest with you, the CGI for Momo is not
It's an acquired taste. It's an acquired
the CGI for Appa is barely better than the movie. No, Momo looks a lot better, but like Appa looks
I remember
only
we were
marginally better than the movie.
We were like, oh, it's so when Appa showed up in the movie because he has that really classic-y looking face. We're like, oh, get it away. That's like me when we were playing Suicide Squad and Lois saved us. And then I'm like, no, go away. We don't want her.
We really need to do that retrospective video on Lois because I already have the thumbnail made and everything. But
I'm
aside,
always down to bash Lois. I'm totally fine with that. But by the way, so I'm going to I want to pull up something because this is a clip from the Suicide Squad stream that Talati and I are doing. By the way, we are doing continuing our playthrough on Sunday. We're going to go from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. because we're trying to complete the game as quickly as possible. But I wanted to play a certain selection from my stream. So I can play stuff. Hang on.
Well, I just hope you don't copyright strike yourself.
No, it's just going to be for less than 10 seconds. All right, you ready? All right.
Go ahead.
So watch. So this is a scene. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So watch.
It's straight black.
Did you hear it?
No.
Oh, there's no volume? All right, let me try this again. Hang on.
Yeah, we can't even see the gameplay.
No, that's because it was in a scene that's in a dark space, so it's intentionally like there's nothing on the screen.
Okay.
So I'll let you know when Lois starts speaking. Just watch. All right, here's Lois.
If you are,
No!
you are.
No!
No!
You regret this?
Go away! Ah!
Look,
What?
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world.
Oh, I got a better clip where she shows up on the TV doing a news report, and then I start shooting the TV.
Are you trying to
that's
get us
great.
demonetized?
No, but anyway, I'll show that one later. But
We need to cancel Lois.
oh, I would. That's the hashtag we start on Comics League. Hashtag cancel Lois.
I'm
Dude,
pretty sure
dude,
social
you-
media's been doing that since the New 52, but that's a
Dude,
separate conversation.
hashtag cancel Lois Lane. That's your next hashtag campaign.
That's
Okay.
what I got. I organized a trending event with the Super Wonder community. Oh, jeez.
Dude,
Oh, they're
it's
gonna have
like,
a field day.
even though I'm not Super Wonder, I will participate in that just for the chaos alone.
Yeah. You also
Yeah,
need.
it'll be good
We
that.
also need to do a retrospective with the Super Sons. Yeah, I can get down on that. I will give the movie one thing and one thing only. With Aang, actually looks cool in my opinion. He looks like Aang. I'll give it that. His acting is not good, but they made him look like Aang.
Who knew hiring a martial artist for an acting role would work out so badly?
Yeah, I know. He could
Like,
have been the
like,
stunt
physically-
double.
Like physically, he could do the moves really well. Like when he was doing the bending moves, it looked good.
Yeah.
But when he opened his mouth,
Yeah. But anyway, so let's transition to another topic. So do you guys want to discuss the Suicide Squad Backlash, Kevin Conroy in Crisis, or Carl Weathers?
Suicide
JJheat
Squad.
picks.
Let's go ahead and get Suicide Squad out the way.
What'd you say, Nick?
no, I was saying let you he pick. You haven't picked yet.
Oh, no, this. Lois Lane, Steve Trevor. Yes, here would be the book. Lois Lane, Steve Trevor. Subtitle, United in Irrelevancy.
Oh my god!
That would be the book. So anyway.
Now I want to commission like a fake cover of those. two.
We gotta get it again. That would be so good. That would be so good. You know what we should do? We should get a cameo of like Zack Snyder and make him go Lois Lane sucks.
Oh my god! I don't think he'd do that.
Lois
it-
and Steve, low-key would make a good couple. Yeah, because they're both useless characters. So
Well,
anyway,
they're both part of the same trope, but transition.
so all right, I'm gonna try and now I'm gonna tell you this. The one thing that I will not stand for, and both sides have this issue. They keep using Kevin Conroy to either bash or praise the game, and I'm like, keep his name out of it. But I will say this to people saying that the point I'm going to start off with this discussion is to say if Kevin Conroy thought that Batman was going to be disrespecting this game with how much we know about how much he loved the character and playing the character, do you think he would have participated in it?
I don't know. That just seems like such a like. Well, I like to go by hard facts and all that kind of stuff, and that just seems more subjective.
Well, because we know hard facts that the Justice League are gonna come back. So what I'm thinking, what's probably going to happen, is that they do come back, and it's Conroy's voice. So like maybe before he died, they recorded some other dialogue, or they'll bring in like the dude who did the voice for Batman in Arkham Origins and have him voice Batman. But the point is that Batman's coming back. All the Justice Leaguers are coming back. It's
Okay,
confirmed by the devs.
Let's throw out all the context, all other stuff, and just focus on the scene itself. That scene is so disrespectful, rude, and just outright
How?
mean.
It's in
It
poor
just
taste.
like the whole. It is such poor taste. Just that scene in isolation, watching it boils my blood. And I think a lot of other people have the same reaction watching that scene. Like you could like say, oh, it's not Kevin Conroy's last appearance, or this.
Well,
you say
it's
million
not
things
his
about
last
it.
appearance as Batman, so we know that.
No, what I'm saying, yeah, but just watching that scene as it is, and just all the other stuff notwithstanding, it is very inflammatory.
But the issue is that in the context of the story, of the
But I'm
entire
taking
story
all
they're
that
telling,
away, and I'm telling you, like, people's reaction to seeing that scene is why they're having this emotional reaction.
which
And,
I understand that, and to be clear,
and I feel like trying to like hand wave it and be like, oh, it's not his last appearance. Oh, he's gonna get revived. All that other stuff is kind of dismissive of people's emotional reaction.
no, to be clear, let me address this. If you're upset about the scene, you have every right to feel that way.
Okay.
110%. What I'm just saying is give the full story a chance to bring it all together. Because again, going to the context, because I'm not going to take the context away, because context is key in these situations.
I thought Lois Lane was the key.
Well, okay. I'm about to say.
Hang on. I got to do this one thing. JJheat.
What is this?
You set me up perfectly.
So what I'm about to say, I am saying from my perspective, not Jared's. Okay.
Mhm.
So going into this game, it did not look like a game that interested me. I've never really liked the Suicide Squad much. The gameplay did not interest me. It did not look like a game I wanted to play. And then just seeing the scene just proves the fact that I personally made the right decision by choosing not to buy this game. And I know Jared likes it, and that's fine, which is why I'm only speaking from my perspective.
Yeah. Now, and I appreciate that, and that's true. But Randy says, why am I not surprised that WB and DC would find a way to screw it up? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, JJheat?
And I'm just gonna say this right now. Now, say what you will about how Arkham is like a branch off. Like, basically, if you grew up with the DCAU and BTAS and you went straight to the Arkham games, you had the chance to actually play that version of Batman for the most part in video game form. So tensions are high, emotions are high, all of that.
Counterpoint. It's not the exact same version of Batman, because this version didn't sleep with Barbara.
No, Tim Drake did, but it's still Bat-cessed.
This is the Arkham Batman. This is literally the Arkham Batman.
No,
but
this in the game is Arkham Batman. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's not the BTAS Batman, because the BTAS Batman has shitty taste in women.
Synergy.
But like, crappy writing aside, I think you do get what JJheat is saying.
No, I understand a lot of people associate the Arkham Batman with the DCAU Batman because it's played by Conroy. I understand.
I mean, not just that, but if you go and look at Arkham Asylum, you had Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn. You had Mark Hamill as the Joker, and like in the second one, Mark Hamill is still the Joker. So I think it may not be exactly the DCAU Batman, but it is still there. It is a proper extension of that universe.
But even beyond that, pun intended. But even beyond that,
Batman Beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Nick. Never change. But even beyond that, I feel like with all this going on, it's the emotional aspect. Because first of all, I thought this was going to be like a bait and switch, Forever Evil type situation where the Suicide Squad ends up killing this crime syndicate, not the Justice League. That's what I had originally thought. But even with that, yeah, was this a proper send-off? Probably not. But Kevin Conroy still agreed to do the role. And maybe there's some DLC where you at least get some closure beyond the main story. We do not know the game's full half-life.
I mean, imagine if there is like a plot twist to where, and who knows, this might actually be it, to where in the DLC you find out it actually was a crime syndicate and they were masquerading as the Justice League.
That could work.
They had this is me just come like they had actually captured.
Nick, the DLC actually supports that in a way because they are exploring Elseworlds, so that could be something. My personal theory,
if that turns out to be the case, I will actually applaud them because that is actually pretty good storytelling.
My idea is that it's really my thought. my theory based upon what I saw in the game. And by the way, do you guys mind if I get into light spoilers?
I'm not going to play the game, so go ahead.
I don't Sure, go ahead, by all means.
All right. And plus, it's a part that I already played in the game. So if you guys have been watching the stream, you guys in the chat, you know what I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to explain the scene first and then my theory. So, and by the way, this was in the trailer they released during, I think it was the Game Awards when they revealed that Conroy was going to be Batman for this game. So Captain Boomerang accidentally chops off Flash's thumb. And this is Flash before he's captured by Brainiac. So you fight Batman, which by the way was freaking dope because Nick, they do this. You're in pitch black, and then slowly, one by one, you're being picked off by Batman. So it's literally like those Predator scenes, except in reverse. But,
Okay.
And you're in a museum that basically recounts all of the Arkham story, including how the Justice League was formed. It's really cool. So, Batman fights you, Flash saves your life, and then Flash is captured. When he comes back, he has all 10 fingers. So my theory is that what Brainiac actually did, he captured the Justice League, has them on his ship, and he is cloning them. And what we're fighting are actually the clones. Because also to back this up, in the season 1 roadmap that they revealed, they show that, okay, we're also going to have 2 new boss battles. It's Superman and Green Lantern, button Brainiac gear. So my thinking is, and this also backs up why we haven't seen Superman yet in the game, because they say he's like, and by the way, Brown, no, he can regenerate cuts. He can't regenerate bone, I don't think. So my thinking is that during a DLC, we're going to break into Brainiac's ship and free the actual Justice League. So the ones that
Clones are such a cop-out. Oh my god.
Yeah, but so is the Crime Syndicate, though.
No,
Sorry, JJheat.
Crime Syndicate are actual characters. Clones are a plot device.
That's fair. You got to give them that.
Like the
That's
Crime
true.
Syndicate, because having the Crime Syndicate is more of like, okay, there's actual intention. Clones are more of a like, oh crap, we actually killed Arkham Batman. No, it was a clone. All the whole like, yeah, I think JJheat had it right in what he posted in private chat.
I see we're going to be talking about the late Kevin Conroy. That too, yeah, we're going to be talking about him. But
back to my
all
main
I'm going to say is that before everyone goes crazy, just let me put it this way: if the DLC starts coming out and they have no indication that what I'm saying or what Nick is saying is going to happen, like with either the Crime Syndicate or clones, if they don't bring them back, go ahead and bash it.
If they actually is Crime Syndicate and it happens like exactly or close to what I say, I will issue a retraction. If it's clones, I'm doubling down.
Because what they could do, because also bringing in the multiverse, let's say they don't do the clones, they could just say the Justice League that we actually fight are different versions of the Justice League, and this would actually work.
Then that's clones, but with extra steps, Jared. That's just it. I'm sorry.
I'm just working. Nick.
Let him cook, Nick. Let him cook.
I'm just working with the information available to me right now in the game. Because obviously, because I'm only like 3 to 4 hours into the game so far, so there could be something later that points to the multiverse. My point is, it's not. And by the way, also there was someone else. There was another source that I trust that played through the game. One of the things that they said is that it is indicated that Brainiac, that we're actually fighting the Justice League, but what Brainiac did is he like enhanced them genetically so they regenerate. So the point is, if they bring back the Justice League, if they don't bring back the Justice League in at all, I don't want to say go crazy because I don't want anyone attacking a dev or anything like that. Do not do that. I'm just saying.
I'm going to attack the game. I'm not going to attack the dev.
You can attack the game. Absolutely. Open season. But if they Nick, so I'm going to make a pact with Nick. Nick, when we get this information, if they bring them back and it's in spectacular fashion, whether or not it's Crime Syndicate or in some other way that we actually approve of, will you come on the show and do a retraction?
If it is in a way that I feel like makes sense and validates it, yes.
Okay.
But you got to
I'll take
realize
that.
I have to determine that. I have to.
No, you can. And I'll tell you what, at the end of the thing, we'll just do an evaluation anyway, and you can say if whether or not your at least
Like, for
mind
example,
was changed.
if it's a crime syndicate, that's fine. But
Mhm.
like cloning or multiverse variants or some other sort of like stupid cop out thing, because here's the problem: they have all these death scenes for these characters, but then they just bring them back to life. It makes the whole death scenes
That's
pointless.
DC though.
No, I'm not buying that excuse. I'm not buying that. So
How
why
many times
should
has Superman died?
Let him
again,
talk. Let him talk.
again? And that just makes the whole like, why even do this thing if you're gonna kill him off and then revive him? Yeah, I get it. It's comics, but like, why are we even supposed to care? Like obviously they want us to care that like the way Batman dies. Obviously they want us to care the Flash dies. Having Captain Boomerang literally piss on the Flash. Like it's obvious they want us to care. It's obvious they want us to be angry, you know. But like the Napola Roger, it's like, oh, clones, oh, this or that. It makes you even more angry because you felt like you were tricked. You're tricked into being angry, only for it to mean nothing. It's like, haha, you're stupid. You know, it's like,
Okay.
I'm speaking to the emotion of some of the people who are like, I'm the one representing the people who are angry about this.
And I appreciate that.
And I'm speaking to the I'm trying to rationalize the emotion.
Mm-hmm. So Brown says crime syndicate as villains could have been a real eye opener for people to show how powerful the Justice League is, specifically without any remorse. Yeah, in other words, I would be totally great if it's like somehow the crime syndicate. But Pierce asked a good question. Do you guys have a favorite Batman episode depending on the animated universe? In terms of BTAS, it's Heart of Ice. I gotta go with Heart of Ice.
Heart of Ice is a solid episode, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just curious about the cartoon, the Batman.
The one with the doll, the one with like the young girl.
Batman 2004. Season 1 is a bit of a slog to get through, but it really picks up season 2 onward. So I do recommend the Batman 2004, but I would argue you could skip the first season because it has so much filler in it, but you'll miss important context. So I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah. Tevia says, given Brainiac has access to the multiverse, it would make sense that these characters could be other versions of the League. So it would make sense, particularly, Nick, if the later seasons of the game are going to deal with like Elseworlds. So it could very well be that. The death and resurrection trope is redundant at this point, but that's honestly, I'm gonna say that's how we did an event pre Dark Crisis called The Death of the Justice League.
Okay, here's my counterpoint.
Wait. Guess what DC said? Yeah, they're coming back. Yeah.
But here's my counterpoint. If death is that meaningless, what's the point of even having death scenes? What's the point of even putting all that gravitas, all those scenes? Like, what's the point of even having a whole speech like Harley Quinn literally tells Batman how bad he is and shoots him in the head? What's the whole even point of having those scenes if everyone knows he's just gonna come back? Like, see, like you guys keep trying to hand wave like the fact that these death scenes.
You guys, I'm not saying that.
Yes, you are. You're saying, oh, it's comics.
Well, I'm just saying
downplaying would be a more appropriate term, but I see where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. I feel like I should play mediary here because we'll be debating all night.
I mean, fine. You want to be the arbiter, JJheat? Go ahead. You're Keith David now.
Okay, but
that smile made it worth it.
But where was I? Yes, I feel like the emotional investment, especially when you put the mighty dollar into it, then yeah, it's trolling or baiting the audience, and it boils down to a very angry or pissed off reaction. But now that we've contextualized that, I think I actually see Nick's point here. Hand waving it doesn't really solve anything. Yes, you could be mad about it, but that's not what anybody wants to hear right now. What people want to hear right now, why have this gravitas? Why give Harley this solid moment if you're just going to undo it at the first sign of trouble, panic, damage control, or combination of the three? Am I on the right track, Nick?
Well,
yeah, because
I'm not saying
you notice how like the news of Kevin Conroy, like, oh, this isn't the last role. It suspiciously dropped right after that clip drop. Because remember, for like 2 years, we were led to believe this was his last role. Like they literally said that they've known for 2 years that Kevin Conroy did these other roles. They've known it for 2 years, but they never said anything until now. Until the scene drops and they get heat about it.
Nick,
then all of a sudden,
Nick,
they blast the news.
Can I respond?
Go ahead.
I lost my train of thought on that. All right. From a writing and literature standpoint, it's clear these people have zero clue about DC characters as a whole. I'm not so sure about that.
I agree, Pierce.
Because when you look at the external logs of the game, they do get who these characters are. So I'm not necessarily because that itself is hand waving. Because I disagree with people saying if they make story decisions that you disagree with that they don't understand the characters. Because again, when you're dealing with a universe where there has been many different versions of these characters, who is to say what the definitive versions of these characters are?
I will say this though, if this is the Arkham Harley Quinn, I don't know, it doesn't for example the whole the scene where Harley Quinn sees her Arkham outfit and says bad things about it. I don't know. I don't really see Arkham Harley doing that.
Can I say one thing though? That could be. It's not necessarily about the costume. It's more about she associates that with Joker.
I don't know.
Because remember, when the story starts with this Harley Quinn, she is very independent of the Joker. Well, partly because he's dead. But my point being, it could be she doesn't want to remind her of the Joker. But go ahead, JJheat.
Also, don't forget the drop storyline of Harley Quinn being pregnant.
Nick. JJheat was talking. Go ahead, JJheat.
And to add on to Nick's last statement, yes, there was a dropped plot point where Harley was supposedly with child, and I believe Tom Taylor picked this up with his Injustice 2, if I remember, in his tie-in comics, if I remember correctly. But tangent aside, the main point is you don't really have a lot of setup for Harley's change. A lot of this is due to modernism and multiple interpretations. Because Arkham Harley was basically B-Test Harley. She's purely fixated on the Joker. She rebounds back to him multiple times. And the only time she's fully breaking away from him is when Joker is unalived, whether it be through electrocution from the censored version, what happens in Arkham City, or the uncut Beyond Return of the Joker. But I will not spoil that scene. But
that's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's not. Sorry, I had to.
I can't. I love it. Yeah.
But basically, long story short, we don't really have a lot of setup with Harley because Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is basically 5 years after Arkham Knight. So we don't really have Harley's perspective outside of a DLC in Arkham City, which was the Harley's Revenge.
Yeah, she's not in Arkham Knight, is she?
Yeah, she is.
She is. She just not given a whole lot to do in Arkham Knight.
She doesn't do a lot, but she is in that game. She's I think in the back third of the game, I think.
Yeah, because after Arkham City, there's after spoiler alert, the Joker dies. There's really not much for her to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Tough question, Brown Destroyer, but if I had to guess off the top of my head, I'd go with Bruce Greenwood. He's a good
Bruce Greenwood. He would be my choice to if they want to continue the arc. Let's say they bring back Arkham Batman, and what James Gunn is saying is true that they're going to do other Arkham games. Greenwood would be my choice to replace.
Okay, can I do a crazy theory?
Wait, Nick. Let me finish. Because I think Greenwood has the voice that is an easier transition, at least from Conroy, because he can do a Batman voice similar to Conroy. But
okay, this is a crazy theory. So you said there might be doing Elseworlds. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what if Arkham Origins is actually another universe? What if Arkham Origins? Because remember how the other Arkham games don't really reference Origins that much. So what if Origins is its own universe? So what if Origins happens and then a version of the rest of the Arkham trilogy happens with Bruce Greenwood's Batman, and so they bring in that Batman as a DLC, and then he kind of gets stuck in our universe, and he decides that the world needs a Batman, and so he decides to continue being that Batman because it's similar enough, so that way Bruce Greenwood is now the Batman in this universe.
That works.
It's crazy enough to work.
It's crazy enough to work, but the only nitpick is that you'll have fanboys and diehards say, "Oh, this is just Bruce Greenwood pretty much hogging or claiming the role after the fact." You would have to do it in a way.
You got a better idea?
Well, here's the thing, JJheat. If they want to continue the Arkhamverse in any way, they have to recast Batman. Because here's the thing: you can't have the Arkham universe without Batman.
This is a perfect way of doing it. You basically say Origins is its own universe, the Origins, and then the other 3 Arkham games happen, and maybe you can make some like variations of stuff.
And Tevia, wait a second, is I thought Firefly exists across the multiverse, so just Firefly's existence in Night does not necessarily mean that it's connected. Plus, there are whole channels like Kane Nightwing 01. He's a big Arkham guy. He basically did a whole stream pointing out there's so many story inaccuracies with Origins.
Wait! I got a better one. What if this Suicide Squad Kills Justice League takes place in the Origins universe, and that what happened is they
can't do that, Nick.
No. Let's hear me out. So Darkseid pulled in the characters from the main Arkham universe. So this is actually the Origins universe. That would explain the irregularities like Harley Quinn.
But Nick, they reference Arkham Knight in Suicide Squad
multiple times.
No, what you say is a version of Arkham Knight happened because Origins happened, and you could say the other Arkham games happened, but like they happened differently because this is a separate universe.
But they use the exact same character designs as the trilogy of Arkham games.
Yeah, that's fine. But like, you could say it's just because it's Origins universe, and we never saw, and we're under the assumption that Origins is its own universe, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because like the other games don't mention Arkham, even Arkham Knight doesn't really mention Origins. Correct if I'm wrong.
Except for Bane being a roided out like Hulk character.
So what I'm saying is the Arkham trilogy played out just differently, which would explain all of it. And honestly, I think that'd be a cool twist. The fact that takes place in the Origins. So they go to the ship and they find the Bruce Greenwood version of Batman, and then they realize, holy crap, this Batman is native to our universe.
But here's the problem with that: because here's the thing, if that were true, then like they wouldn't be treating evil Batman like he is their Batman, because they do treat him like that, and they would say he sounds like he's a different guy.
I mean, you could explain that pretty easily. I don't know.
A question: which is better? Wait, which Death of Batman, Gotham Knights or Suicide Squad? Here's why I don't like Gotham Knights. So they kill him, and he has a heroic death at the beginning of the game. Then they bring him back only to kill him immediately afterwards. I'm like,
that was kind of stupid.
That itself was dumb as hell. And I'm like,
if it were me, I would bring Batman back, team him up for the end of the movie, and then have him be like, yeah, Gotham's in safe hands. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take Selena here, and we're gonna go off to Tahiti. You guys take care.
Yeah, they could do that. In fact, even with this, if this is real Arkham Batman, just throw him in a Lazarus Pit. Well, actually, no, the Lazarus Pits don't exist anymore because of a DLC from Arkham Knight, so they actually can't do that. But that's my point. My point is, like, at least let a little more of the story play out before everyone starts going bananas. That's
by the way, the origin stuff. That's just me crackpot theory trying to like rationalize this stuff and like have it make sense. So
the multiverse part makes sense. I'll give you that. Origins part, I'm not altogether convinced on, but in terms of like the multiverse being involved, they could legitimately do that.
I will say, like, WB, if you're listening and you actually are planning on like having Origins be its own universe and having that be part of the story, I will applaud you and gladly do a retraction.
Yeah, exactly. So let's transition to another topic.
Transition.
Do you want to talk about Conroy and Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Might as well,
because I have a way to talk about this. So it came out that like it's confirmed that Conroy's at least going to be in Crisis. He's not going to be in the other Batman animated series. So I want to ask this. So this basically confirms that it's going.
Sorry,
one at a time, gentlemen.
Finish. This basically confirms, and I believe the article I was talking about this confirmed it too, that it's going to be the BTAS Batman. Now, what I want to ask, so this confirms. Oh, by the way, he also had a lot of fun playing evil Batman. So that was actually pretty cool. I'm glad he got to have fun on this role. But anyway, so we know that part 3 is probably going to be the crazy animated universe. What other animated universes do you guys want to see? I'll start with Nick.
When there's trouble, you know who to call.
Oh yeah, because that's actually not in the Timverse continuity.
Nope. Teen Titans 03 is standalone. Though Teen Titans 03 and the Batman 2004 do have similar character designs.
Also, I want to see Stephen Amell as Arrow.
They could, because JJheat, they did a Vixen movie, which actually was pretty good, actually.
Set in Detroit, by the way.
Set in Detroit and set in the Arrowverse, so they could actually do that.
That's why I kind of have a soft spot for Arrowverse Vixen, is because she's from Detroit. Which, by the way, the Titans version Cyborg is from Detroit.
Oh, sweet. Now the question is, here's the issue. All right. Are they gonna play around with different animation styles, or are they gonna basically Tomorrowverse them? Probably Tomorrowverse them, because Warner Brothers is cheap as hell. Which case I'm like,
I think it's gonna be kind of like a middle ground. I think it's gonna be a Tomorrowverse interpretation of the design, because look at like how they handle Batman Beyond. Like even if that's not like the actual Batman Beyond, it's still a Tomorrowverse version of it. So like they might not look exactly like a Tomorrowverse character, but it'll look like a Tomorrowverse interpretation of that character. I mean, it really depends.
A hybrid.
It really depends on when we see Kevin Conroy's Batman, because Kevin Conroy's Batman is confirmed to be DCAU. Okay,
I believe it's that. So, and actually, Nick, you brought this up in our group chat when I put in that Batman Beyond was going to be in there. Now that I know that Conroy is going to be in this movie, then I say they could bring in the original voice actor from Beyond. They could 100%. Yeah, they could 100% do that.
Like that guy's not really like he's not really that expensive. Like if they wanted to bring him in, he probably would gladly do it.
Yes.
So
again, now that I know, because my original aversion to that is I had originally said this would connect it to the DCAU, and I don't think they want to do that. But they're bringing in DCAU Batman, so there's really no reason for them not to.
Okay, here's what I want to see. Okay, Batman Beyond, Teen Titans Robin, voiced by Scott Melville, and then DeCamu Nightwing, voiced by Simon Tam from Firefly.
And I want him to show up and basically go,
the psychos just keep getting younger.
I swear, if they actually do that, like, please record a reaction to that where you just go crazy.
Yep. By the way, what's great is that in the Crisis movie series, so far it's my favorite, because at least I got Superman and Wonder Woman together. A version of them. I'll take it. So there you go. But thank you. I want to give a shout out to Taladia, by the way, for watching the movie first and then telling me, watch this movie. It's Super Wonder.
Also, what if they get Brandon Routh as the Superman Returns Superman? Because, like, if you want to do some Reeve stuff, like, have Brandon Routh come in because Brandon Routh is the Reeve Superman.
But here's the problem with that. I think they want to stick with the animated movies, because they already brought Routh back for the CW Crisis.
Well, if that's the case, I want to see one of the Super Friends. I mean,
yes. Oh, and by the way, Tevia, it wasn't destroyed; it was just rebooted.
Because I desperately, sorry.
Technically, Earth Prime in the Tomorrowverse is still the AMU Earth. It just got rebooted at the end of Apocalypse War. Go ahead, Nick.
What if we see the Super Friends Aquaman riding a seahorse come in?
Jeez. And then what if they actually have the announcer from Super Friends go, Aquaman?
my god,
That would be so freaking good. Be self-aware, because remember in like Across the Spider-Verse when the sexy Spider-Man animated guy showed up, and then you had like Spider-Man start playing.
Spider-Man.
Tevi, it's the multiverse. They can bring in Hal Jordan from a different world. It's fine.
Green Lantern, the animated series, anyone?
Yes, and Razor maybe.
What if they bring in Tim Daly as the S-Task Superman, and then they bring in the Justice League Wonder Woman?
Oh, you mean Hawkgirl?
No, the Justice League Wonder Woman.
No, I say that because she behaves not like Wonder Woman, but as Hawkgirl.
And then those two and the other Wonder Woman Superman go on a double date.
No, I don't. I do not want a Super Wonder movie to be sullied by Wonderbat.
No. You hear what I said? I said Tim Daly, the Superman from S-Task.
Yeah.
And then the Wonder Woman from Justice League. I was doing the Wonder Woman for you, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like if we were going to get a
thing. I don't like that version of Wonder Woman. That's the thing. I don't want to see her.
So if they canonized that the DCAU was Super Wonder, you would not say no to that.
It's because I don't like that version of Wonder Woman. They made her you want to talk about kind of man-hating? It's that one. Speaking of which, that's why I don't trust Bruce Timm with anything DC anymore.
It would be cool if they brought in Hawkgirl.
That I could see. Did not Spider-Man have a cameo in DC Comics out of nowhere? Yeah, they did Superman versus Spider-Man in the past. That was the first DC Marvel crossover, I believe.
Oh, you want to talk about crossovers? My favorite thing is like Teen Titans Go to the movies. Stan Lee having a cameo, and it was actually Stan Lee.
Of course. He'd be like, okay, I'm showing up in DC now? Okay.
And he's like, sorry, I just love cameos.
Yes. Now, here's a crazy thought. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Because technically Zack Snyder was in a DC animated project.
Oh my god.
Imagine Zack Snyder shows up in Crisis.
No. Imagine
Teen Titans Go.
Imagine if they did what they did with Titans, where like Beast Boy goes into the red instead of meeting Grant Morrison.
He sees Zack Snyder. Yes, that would be great. That would be fantastic.
No. Even better is you see over the shoulder Zack Snyder. He's on Twitter. He's retweeting a Restore the Snyderverse tweet.
Yeah. Although it would be Warner Brothers, so they wouldn't do that. So because Warner Brothers doesn't know how to have fun. But besides that, I'm excited to hear Conroy one more time, and it's great. I'm gonna enjoy that.
I just hope it's not stock footage. Like they hope they don't just construct it using like old voice lines.
Now, I would not put it past DC. I would not,
because they have plenty to work with. Like they have like decades of voice lines for them to pick through.
Now, I will bring up one thing. This was another thing that was brought up on Instagram. Someone had this idea to bring Conroy back for Arkham. Now, this would involve getting the family's permission. Just want to be clear on this.
No AI.
Yeah, I was about to say, because when I read that, I was like, I see where you're going for, but that's on the level. Even if you got the family's permission, that's on the level of like the Christopher Reeve and Flash.
There's only one time where I feel like AI voice was justified, because there was this time when like Cyberpunk, where there's a character who's like a river doc, and they're doing the DLC, but by the time they got to it, he had passed on. So they brought in someone. They were going to bring in someone new to do it, but that would mean re-recording the old person's lines, and they didn't want to do that because that'd be disrespectful. So in order to preserve the old role, the AI voiced him in Phantom Liberty. So it was like either that or remove her entirely. So I think that in that instance, okay, that's fair. But like anything else, whole cloth, I don't agree with.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it didn't sit that well with me, and that's why I was like, it's an idea. It's not necessarily one I like, but it's there.
Finishing up an actor's role, or stuff like that, I can give a pass to. Like for example, if they're doing The Crow now, they would have deep faked Eric Draven's face or whatnot,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
exactly.
Or Top Gun Maverick, Val Kilmer's voice was AI, because because he couldn't speak. So that was the only way to get him to speak. Like, okay, sure, that's fine.
I can see that. I can see that. So, last topic. We had another death. Apollo Creed has fallen.
Yes,
And
this is the way.
yeah, exactly. So Grief Karga, Dylan, you son of a, and then
He can finally wrestle that alligator for his missing eye.
Chubbs. Oh
I
my
love
gosh.
Happy Gilmore. I love that movie.
I love that movie. I wish
The
I could cover
price
it for
is
movie
wrong,
night,
B.
but yeah, exactly. I wish I could. But you know what? In deference to Carl, you know what? I'll play a Happy Gilmore clip. Let's see. Which ones do I have here? I got this. Hang on.
You're gonna die, clown! You think that's funny? I don't hear you laughing now!
It just sucks that like the Creed series is pretty much dead because like that third movie pretty much killed the series.
I didn't think the third movie was bad. It wasn't as good as the previous two.
Well, the problem is, it just kind of came and there was like very little fanfare for it. I think because like Rocky wasn't in it, and like it just didn't have that like. Because the first two movies felt like natural extensions of the Rocky franchise. I haven't seen Creed, so I can't really say anything about the movie itself. I'm just talking about the reception.
I have one more.
He's laughing. He's having a good time. Good for you. Yeah, laugh it up. Enjoy your night.
Come on, Happy, concentrate.
Jared, if you give away a position one more time, I'm gonna bleed you real good.
Yes, exactly. I love that one. Happy Gilmore's the one Adam Sandler movie I like. I like. Yeah, Creed.
Mr. Deeds is pretty good.
Mr. Deeds. Oh my gosh, I like Bally Madison Goes to School.
Oh my god.
Back to school to prove to Dad that I am not a fool. I love that.
The Wedding Singer is really good.
Yeah. But I love how we went from Carl to Adam Sandler movies. But
also Big Daddy.
Oh yes, of course. But going back to Carl, the other thing I really liked was because like a couple of months ago, I watched the Creed movies for like the first time, and it's really cool seeing like because I watched them one after another all day, and it's just really sweet. It's really cool to see like that whole thing start off where he was like this champion. They wanted to have like a publicity fight, so like let's have just some rando on the street show up.
See, my favorite moment from Creed 1, and it's like I just love this moment so much. It's like I gotta prove it that I'm not a mistake. You know, it's like you're a Creed and I love you, kid. And then that is when the Rocky music kicks in. Like they chose the perfect moment to drop the Rocky moment, and it's just oh my god, I love that moment.
Yeah, exactly. Creed 3 was also good. It was okay. It wasn't as good as the other ones, but
I mean, it's just another instance where Kane gets beat up. So
yeah. The other thing I liked about Creed 1 is that how determined the kid was to not let people know his name was Creed because he wanted to make it on his own his own efforts. So I'm like, yeah, that's inspirational right there.
I mean, you can't really sleep on Creed 2 either. I think Creed 2, it did like everyone predict the plot of Creed 2 that is going to fight like Ivan Drago's son. But I think they did it really great. Like they humanized Ivan Drago. They turned like a Saturday morning cartoon villain into an actual 4-dimensional character. And I really loved it. But also like my favorite moment is when he's going out and like his wife is like, you know, doing that really great song, like this, like, oh, I love it. Yeah,
it was really cool. So, JJheat, your thoughts on Carl Weathers?
I only found out the news relatively recently, so just the good die young. So I mean, this is one of the best actors in the business, notable for
moment of silence.
Go ahead. Okay.
Also, JJheat, I cut you off there, and I do apologize.
It's fine. I needed it anyway. It's just Carl Weathers. He's a great actor, and he will be dearly, dearly missed.
Well, before we wrap up, I'm going to ask, what are your all's favorite Carl Weathers appearances?
I got to go with Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
Get to the chopper.
Predator. You son of a... What's the matter? The CIA have you pushing too many pencils?
I'm sorry. It's just...
The cool thing about that movie is that the first, like, the beginning of the movie sells you that these guys have known each other for a while because of the banter. And the genius of Predator is that they have a first action scene where it's just Arnold and crew are wrecking shop because it's like these guys are badasses, and then they're all taken down fairly easily by the Predator. Yeah, Apollo and Predator were amazing. Predator, it'll always be a classic, and he's definitely one of those actors that I say, as long as people still watch his stuff, he will. Here's the thing: a lot of these actors, like Kevin Conroy and Carl Weathers, they have achieved immortality because yes, their physical body's gone, but their spirit and essentially their characters will live on forever as long as there's pop culture.
Kevin Conroy is immortal.
Oh, 110%, because I would argue the majority of Batman fans, he is their Batman voice when they read comics. 100%. Which, to a degree, I vacillate.
Heck, people are still talking about Christopher Reeve as Superman, and that guy's been dead for 20 years, you know?
Everyone has their definitive version. Christopher Reeve will always be immortal as Superman. And by the way, they are coming out with a documentary about the life of Christopher Reeve, and it's going to be on Max. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing that. And it's the same thing like any of the Justice League cast, the Snyder cast are all going to be immortalized at least as these characters because everyone remembers each of the versions of these characters. Atchison says, I flip between Conroy and O'Mara for comics. That's a good one. Have comic Batman. I met Kevin Conroy back. Yeah, actually, they did a thing where like comics Batman is traveling throughout the multiverse and he lands in the Arkham universe. He also meets Dark Knight Returns Batman. He meets... Who else does he meet, JJheat? Oh,
he meets Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond. He meets...
With Kevin Conroy Batman.
When is this? When is this done in?
It was in one of the recent Batman issues. But what's kind of funny is, you know what they did? When he lands in the Batman Beyond universe, they basically redid the Bruce Timm art style.
Oh, nice.
So it's essentially in the Timverse. So he showed up there, and then when he shows up in the Arkham universe, it's the Arkham Batman, but he's in the Asylum suit. Right, Jensen Ackles is a pretty decent Batman voice. Yeah, he's a good one. He really grew on me. I like him more as Red Hood though. I got to be honest.
Oh, hands down, much better performance.
We will be so the way movie night's going to work tomorrow is because Long Halloween was not on Max. They took it off. We're going to be covering Batman Sub-Zero instead. So we'll cover that. And then next week, we're going to cover Under the Red Hood.
Nice.
So we'll have Ackles. And then the third week of February, we'll do Red Son. And then we'll do Suicide Squad. And then I'll try and get Sam Liu on for both of those.
And then in March.
Not yet, Nick. I told you. End of February. So, yeah. So, what do I want to say? Oh, yeah. So, in other words, these actors have essentially achieved immortality because, hey, people still talk about the Rocky movies at the very least. So, Rocky and Predator at the very least, in addition to all of his other great work, at least in the pop culture realm, people talk about Rocky and Predator. So it's like, you know what? Those movies could give him immortality. In fact, he's a meme. You son of a bee, Dylan. So there you go. So that's where we're going to leave it. I think that this was a great episode. We got a little heated when it came to Suicide Squad, but I like that. Oh, I want to see the Justice League meeting the Snyderverse Justice League. Oh, that'd be dope. So we're gonna go around and so Nick, where can one find you and what have you got coming out on the channel?
Alrighty then. So you can find me at Twitter at the Phoenix Press, YouTube just search the same, and yeah. So I tomorrow I will be doing a live stream for Pokemon. Jared is probably gonna have a field day making fun of me. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
JJheat, how about you?
As for me, I will be continuing my Mass Effect and SWTOR playthroughs. I will also have New Direction Arrow out because I know that's been delayed, but I will finally have that out hopefully by the end of this week. And who knows, maybe we can finally get New Direction Wonder Woman off the ground because a whole trilogy for Wonder Woman, and me and Jared haven't had the time to collab on it once.
We'll see. And then in terms of for Comics League, Britt and I are going to talk about the worst depictions of Super Wonder. We're the boys and I, like I said, are going to be talking about about Sub-Zero, and then Wednesday I'm going to do a commentary, which I think I'll talk about like of my favorite comic runs or something like that. And obviously Sunday, like I said before, Talati and I believe David and whoever wants to be our fourth will be playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League for about 4 hours, see if we can complete the story or at least make a decent chunk in it. And in terms of, so I mentioned movie, I mentioned that. Yeah, I think we're all good. So yeah, I know it's heavy. I'm sad too. I wish that they didn't take it off, but I don't know, what are you gonna do? So in conclusion, we'll keep watching, and at least even if you hate Suicide Squad, watch my gaming streams. It really helps me out. And by like all these gentlemen's stuff, that will be that helps us all out. And yeah, stay heroic. And remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. See you later.
Excelsior!